Agent Search the Police, how can I help? It appears my daughter's gone missing.
Okay. No one has seen her, no?
No.
The front door slams. Nobody watches it happen. In a house on Crown Hill, Bristol, on a gray Thursday morning in February 2015, the sound moves through the walls. A single hard crack, and then everything goes quiet. A sound that, in another life, means nothing at all. But no one sees her leave. That is the detail that will take 11 days and a city's worth of fear to fully understand. That nobody actually saw her go. 16-year-old Rebecca Watts, Becky, to everyone who matters, is last confirmed to be inside her home at 11:03 in the morning. A text message to her boyfriend. She says she is listening to music. He sends more messages. She does not reply. He waits. He sends more. Still nothing. By the following afternoon, her father Darren has made a 999 call. The officers who arrive hear the same thing from everyone inside the house. A door slammed, and they assumed she had left. Nobody thought to check. Nobody knew to. Becky had been born on the 3rd of June, 1998. Her early years were spent with her mother before concerns of neglect brought her into care, and then she came to live with her father Darren alongside her brother Dan. The people who knew her best described her as feisty, funny, with a sense of humor that only fully opened around those she trusted. At school she was quieter, more careful, but her teachers said her kindness was rare in the way such things rarely are, the kind that does not perform itself. She had a small circle of friends, the kind that last, and she was in near constant contact with them. Daily messages, regular calls. It is one of the first things that alarms investigators. Not that she has gone somewhere without telling anyone, but that she has not contacted a single person since. Her social media has gone completely dark. For a 16-year-old who used it every day, who was in steady, ordinary contact with her closest friends, the silence is absolute. Her phone, her tablet, her laptop, all gone with her. But no spare clothes, no sign of planning, nothing to suggest she decided to leave. The national media picks it up within days. Her father posts on Facebook, "Please, if anyone has seen or heard from my daughter, just let me know she is safe. She went missing Thursday morning and never arrived to meet her boyfriend. I am really scared now. I want her home." Search teams move through parks and open woodland near the house. Helicopters sweep from above. Volunteers arrive in numbers, putting up posters covering ground. 6 teams are deployed across multiple locations. A nature reserve, a local lake, areas of open ground near her home. Nothing. No trace. No sign she has been anywhere at all beyond her own front door. It is now 9 days since anyone has seen her. The investigation turns inward. Officers begin looking more carefully at those who were closest to Becky in the hours before she disappeared. The last confirmed point of human contact had been with her stepbrother, Nathan Matthews, and his girlfriend Shauna Hoare. Both had been at the family home that morning. Getting them in for an interview proves harder than it should. When they do come in, their accounts are consistent in the way that well-rehearsed accounts tend to be. Shauna says she heard music playing upstairs when they arrived. She went into the garden for a cigarette with her daughter. She came back in, was washing her hands at the kitchen sink, and heard the front door slam. She assumed it was Becky leaving in a mood. Nathan says the same. They heard the door, and they thought it was Becky. They did not look. They did not check. It was just the door. The investigating officers listen. They take notes. They notice the way Shauna laughs at certain moments. Small, incongruous smiles that surface and vanish before she can catch them. They notice that Nathan seems, for a man whose 16-year-old stepsister has been missing for over a week, remarkably unbothered. Detective Chief Inspector Richard O'Cone would later observe what any seasoned investigator recognizes immediately. The stories are too clean, too perfectly aligned. 2 people describing the same unremarkable morning in near-identical language, the same sequence of events, the same details offered and withheld in precisely the same order. Most witnesses contradict each other on small things. These 2 do not. It means the story had been built together, in advance, and rehearsed. The forensics unit moves into Becky's house. They work slowly. the patience that comes from not wanting to miss anything. And on the doorframe of Becky's bedroom, they find it. A faint spot of blood, then another. Pressed into that blood, a fingerprint. The result comes back. The fingerprint belongs to Nathan Matthews. They wait on the blood. Nathan and Shauna are brought back in. The officers say nothing about the fingerprint, nothing about the blood. They raise pressure by degrees, mentioning the forensic search, watching for reactions, watching the spaces between words. Then the blood results arrive. It is Becky's. Saturday, the 28th of February, 2015. Nathan Matthews and Shauna Hoare are arrested on suspicion of kidnap. Within days, the charge will become something worse. Because while questioning continues at the station, forensics teams are working through Nathan and Shauna's home. The property is in a state of severe disorder. Every room filled with clutter, surfaces buried under accumulated mess. Every room looks the same, except one. The bathtub is immaculate. In a house where nothing is clean, where disarray accumulates in every corner, the bathtub is spotless, shining, not a mark on it. It does not fit. And buried within the clutter, 2 small pieces of paper are recovered. Receipts from a B&Q hardware store, dated the 20th of February, the same day Becky was reported missing. An electric circular saw, protective goggles, gloves, a mask. CCTV from the store confirms the buyer, Nathan Matthews. They are rearrested, this time on suspicion of murder. The news reaches Darren through a police liaison officer. Becky's father will later say that the world began to fold in on itself in that moment. Outside the family home, flowers are already being left. A nearby church opens its doors through the night so candles can be lit in her name. She had been murdered on her brother Dan's 20th birthday. On the 3rd of March, 2015, at 10:26 in the evening, a prepared statement is delivered to police on behalf of Nathan Matthews. He refuses to hear it read aloud. He pushes his fingers into his ears as the words fill the room. The statement admits that he arrived at Becky's home on the morning of the 19th of February with a bag in the boot of his car containing a stun device, handcuffs, tape, and a mask. His stated intention was to frighten her, to teach her a lesson, that her behavior toward his mother justified it, that it was not supposed to end the way it did. What the statement confirms, and what the investigation has already proved, is this: Nathan went upstairs. He knocked on Becky's door. She answered. A struggle followed. His mask slipped. She saw his face. He panicked. He strangled her while she was partially inside the bag. At 11:03 in the morning, she had sent a text saying she was listening to music. By the time Shauna finished her cigarette in the garden, Becky was dead. What came next is the kind of detail that does not leave the people who heard it in that courtroom. Using the saw purchased from B&Q, Nathan dismembered Becky's body in the bathtub, which explained the only clean surface in the entire house. When it was over, the two of them ordered pizza and Chinese food. They sat in that home and they ate. That night, Nathan faked a phone call and left to begin moving her remains. The following morning, Shauna texted him, "What time you finish work? LOL." 50 minutes after that message was sent, the 999 call reporting Becky missing was made. Within the same hour, Shauna shared Darren's Facebook post, his desperate plea for his daughter, from her own account. That evening, sitting alongside the family in Becky's home, they repeated the rehearsed story about hearing a door slam. By 9 o'clock, they had returned home and watched a YouTube video titled, "Do you want to hide a body?" In the days that followed, they made multiple supply runs: bin bags, rubble sacks, cling film, bleach, gloves, sponges, tape. When police came to their door on the 23rd of February, no one answered. 2 minutes after searching Becky's name on Google, Shauna rang her estranged mother, a woman she had not spoken to in 4 years, to arrange a visit, somewhere else to be. At 2:19 in the morning on the 24th of February, CCTV captured a white van moving through the Barton Hill area of Bristol. Becky's body parts, wrapped in plastic, preserved in cat litter and salt crystals to mask the smell, were later found in bags in a shed at a property on that same street. The pathology report made clear that Becky had not died quickly or easily. She had sustained more than 40 injuries. She had most likely been killed by suffocation, a hand held over her nose and mouth. She was then stabbed 15 times after death. She could only be identified by DNA. Nathan Matthews was convicted of murder. Shauna Hoare was convicted of manslaughter. Several others pleaded guilty to assisting an offender. The investigation was one of the largest ever conducted by Avon and Somerset police. What it left behind is harder to name than any verdict. Darren and Angie had sat in their own living room with the people responsible, not knowing that upstairs was a bedroom with blood on the doorframe, that outside in the driveway had been a car with their daughter in the boot, that the man beside them sharing their grief had gone upstairs with a bag and handcuffs and had come back down alone. Nathan had known Becky since she was 2 years old. He had stood as best man at the wedding that made them family. He had watched her fight through an eating disorder and dismissed it as attention-seeking. He had sat at Darren's table 100 times. There is a specific kind of horror that lives in proximity, in shared last names and family photographs, in the person who already knows which door is hers, which morning she will be alone, how long it takes for someone to notice she is gone. That is the horror of this case. Not a stranger who found his way in. A face already at the table, already trusted, already inside. Becky Watts was 16 years old. She had a wicked sense of humor and a huge heart and a small circle of people who adored her. She deserved to grow old. If her story stays with you, if the weight of what happened inside an ordinary Bristol home refuses to settle quietly, then this channel is where cases like hers are told the way they deserve to be. Follow along. These people are worth remembering.